You're welcome to my Father Taught Me series, Volume 5, Series 12. The gross darkness of humanity is the curse on blood money. Yeah, brethren. When a nation unrighteously invades another nation for the sole purpose of exploitation, acquiring and seizing the control of the natural resources of that nation, in which process involve killings, as in war, stealing, as in greed, oppression and destruction, as in evil, that is blood money with a cause. When a person out of greed, covetously and lust to acquire money and deals unrighteously to his fellow human, his neighbor, for the sole purpose of exploitation, acquisitions, subtlety and manipulations, in which process involve killings, as in war, stealing, as in greed, oppression and destruction, as in evil, that is blood money with a cause, described in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 11. As the partridge sitteth on eggs and hatcheth them not, so he that getteth riches, and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. The world has been turned into the race of arms and the theaters of wars by the powerful and greedy, at the expense of soul man of humanity and the shedding of innocent blood, simply out of greed for lifeless metals of silver and gold, valued more precious than life, including the latest called rare earth metals. This brings us to the so-called peace negotiations between USA and Ukraine and Russia. And USA and other countries, all I hear is the trading off of lives against perishable mineral deals, rare earth metals, and so on. The mediators bereft of justice, equity, fairness, and the sanctity of life that no human can create, yet gleefully destroyed without a qualm. Yet our emphasis are on natural resources of minerals that we all met on earth, and shall abandon all of them to the last atom here on earth, when we must leave back to where we were taken from in the first place. The book of Genesis chapter 3 verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Let us always remember this at the back of our mind. As a matter of fact, and with emphasis, the book of Ecclesiastes clearly put it. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 20. He says, all go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. If we know all of the two verses above, what common sense negotiations should all the parties involved in all conflict resolutions of the world should they be interested in worldwide concerning, but not limited to, the following, including Ukraine-Russia war, Iran, Middle East, China, Taiwan, North and South Korea, India, Pakistan, Africa, and her neighbors, and all other parties and schemes of the world. Right from time immemorial, it has always been the attritions of war, of dominance, by hook or crook, by divide and rule tactics, in order to steal, kill, and destroy. To steal these lifeless so-called precious metals, which later are turned into idols of money values under the administration of Mammon, the god of money, for the world to worship, and in the wickedness of the heart to kill whoever resists them, the thieves marauding the world for the gold and silvers of the earth in question, of which the powerful has turned into the idols of worship through their agents Mammon, the god of money, and they are wickedly obsessed to destroy the occupiers of the land which the Most High has given to them. And the powerful wickedly subjugate whoever resisted their pillages, these thieves of the world, who are desperate in all their missions for the idols of silver and gold, meant for the ultimate idol of Mammon, known in our contemporary world as money, also known in the ultimate ranking as Elias dollars. Yes, you heard me well, dollars, who for now ranks highest in the kingdom of the god of money, Mammon. Let us be clear here. All such enterprises are called blood money, and blood monies are caused, and the accursed represent the spiritual gross darkness that covers the people of the world for generations, as it has been from time immemorial. Now here is a question. What is gross darkness that covers the people of the world? Answer. Gross darkness in a spiritual context signifies a profound and overwhelming form of darkness, representing intense spiritual blindness, moral decay that attract divine judgment, a period where people are spiritually unaware or lost and far from the light and guidance of the Most High. Another question. What is spiritual blindness that you mentioned in your sentence? Answer. Spiritual blindness is a state of mental and spiritual inability to see or understand the truth of the Most High. Another question. What is moral decline? Answer. A moral decline is a period of widespread sin, evil, and wickedness, where people have strayed far from moral standards of the Most High. It gets to a point at which a curse of the Most High is incurred, which normally triggers divine judgment, which in this case, as a result of the consequences of humanity's disobedience and rejection of the basic commandments of the Most High, which represents His presence, truth, knowledge, and goodness, examples of gross spiritual darkness as at a time with the people of the world was described in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2 to 3. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Most High shall arise upon thee, as through the body of Christ and the messengers of truth of the Most High and Christ, and His glory shall be seen upon thee, and the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Find here a contemporary examples upon a kingdom with a period of widespread sin, evil, and wickedness, where people have strayed far from moral standards and commandments of the Most High. This kingdom was once known as the greatest empire mankind have ever known in contemporary history. It was the Empire of Great Britain. And then there occurred, spiritually, a period of widespread sin, evil, and wickedness of bad empire, and its blood-soaked money that accounted for the gross darkness upon the empire. The rest is history today for the gross darkness upon the empire of Great Britain. The type stated in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 2 to 3. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. However, for the elect, the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Allegorically, today, the spiritual warfare on earth is between the prophet of Baal and Elijah, the prophet of the Most High. The unruly rulers in unrighteousness and their scheme of the world can be classified as between the good spirit of the Most High and the evil spirit of Mammon God, which has been caused into gross darkness of the people, soaked in blood money. The cause stated in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 11. It says, As the partridge sitteth on eggs, and hatcheth them not, so he that getteth riches, and not by right, shall leave them in the midst of his days, and at his end shall be a fool. A fool in the sense of gathering earthly acquisitions out of greed, covetousness, evil, and sheer glutton for himself by stealing what belongs to others, killing for the sake of dominance and oppression, destruction for the sake of showing how powerful and dangerous we can be. Whereas, in all of this, we cannot create a pin, nor can we take a pin to anywhere on the day we die, as appointed by our Maker. It is very sad that the root of most wars on earth are based on the enrichment of the flesh and the lusts that result in shedding innocent bloods for the sake of perishable earthly treasures, which incur the curse of blood money, the curse that cause gross darkness in the spirit of men, the darkness we were admonished by Christ to flee from and follow him in light, according to the book of John chapter 8 verse 12. Then spake Christ again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Though there is gross darkness covering the people of the world, the people who lust in flesh and blood, it shall not be so with the elects of the Most High, the body of Christ, the messengers of truth of the Most High and Christ. For the elects of the Most High in the midst of gross darkness upon the people shall do exploits, as stated in the book of Daniel chapter 11 verse 32. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall be corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their Maker, the Most High, shall be strong and do exploits. O beloved brethren, let us be strong in the midst of these perverse nations of the world. We shall not and never be partakers of the shadows of the darkness of perverse nations, soaking in the blood of money, which is the cause of gross darkness of the people, stated again in the book of Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the body of Christ, the messengers of truth of the Most High and Christ, shall arise as stated in the book of Isaiah 60 verse 3. But the Most High shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Yes, all shall come to the brightness of the light of Christ, as stated in the book of John chapter 8 verse 12. Then spake Christ again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Therefore, beloved brethren, the light of life is our treasure in heaven, by which we have escaped from the cause of blood money, the gross darkness of humanity. Remain blessed. My name is Steve Emmanuel Mojugbe, an author, a Nigerian, copyrights reserved, mftmseries.com. Thank you for watching. You may wish to subscribe. That's up to you. Thank you once more.